Everyone. Okay, why most of you have not joined? Your friends have not joined because today is Saturday weekend. Okay, okay, fine. No issues. If your friends have not joined, they are going to lose, and I'll not be repeating this in tomorrow's class. So, in from Monday's class. Okay, so today we will be understanding about Spring Boot and what is JSON format and what is Postman. Okay, so these are the important things which you people should know to start with a Spring Boot project. To start with, Spring Boot project. Okay, so you people know Spring Boot is an advanced form of Spring, correct? I told you in the first class when I started Spring, you will have an advanced version that is called as Spring Boot, correct? Now we need to understand, you people know what is Spring, it is a framework and etc etc. Now we should just understand what is the advantages, right? Or should we understand something extra? We need to know what is advantages of Spring Boot, correct? Because we already know what is Spring and why we use Spring. Now, what extra features you people asked, no, ma'am, whether Spring is used only to create an object by itself. There are few other advantages which they have introduced in Spring Boot. So, can anyone tell what is the first advantages? You people will usually tell, right? It is easy. It is easy, correct? So, it reduces lots of development time. So if you wanted to write all the code by yourself, it will take much time to develop an application, correct? It will take much time to develop an application. So development time is reduced. At the same time, it increases productivity. So if work is completed fast, obviously the productivity will get increased of that particular company, correct? So that is what this first advantage means. So next, it avoids writing lots of code and XML configuration. Correct? Do you people agree with the second point? I don't have to explain it. You people will agree with the second point, right? You know the difficulties of writing lots of code, and you know the difficulty of writing XML configuration each and every time. Correct? So it avoids writing of code and XML configuration. So now it is easy to integrate Spring Boot application. Suppose if you want to add some extra features, or if you want to integrate the same Spring Boot application into your Spring Security or Spring JDBC, like this we have many other things related to Spring, so it is very easy to integrate with Spring Boot application. Okay, so this point you need to remember. Along with this, we can easily start with the application. We can easily start the application, in the sense we can easily create the project in Spring Boot. So I can just tell easy start. So you people know, if you want to create any project, you need to add dependency, correct? You need to add dependency manually, or you can go to MVN repository, copy paste the dependency. So for example, if you are going to create an application, obviously you might have more than 6 to 7 dependencies. It depends on the scope of your application. If your application is really huge, at least 10 to 15 dependencies you need to add. Each and every time, can you copy paste? Whenever you require, you can go and copy paste. That is also time waste, right? So you can create a project and it will be a easy start using Spring Boot. How to do that we will understand practically, but it is very easy to add the dependencies here. When you create the project itself, you can add everything. Yes, how to do that we will understand later. Then Tomcat is embedded. What do you mean by this Tomcat is embedded? Tomcat is a server embedded inbuilt. So in servlet, you people would have been gone through the problem by adding the servlet. Sometimes if there is a problem, you need to restart the server. Correct? You need to restart the server, or you need to remove the server. You need to remove the server and you need to add it again. So all these problems you people would have been faced with respect to server. Each and every time whenever you run the application, no, server should be restarted again and again. So it will be asking for that option. If already server is in use, again you will get error, right? Port is already in use. So all these problems we had. So Spring itself is coming with your server, that is Tomcat. So you will not have much problem whatever you faced in servlet. Okay, that problem also will be solved. Now this is important point. So it provides a very good support to build web services. It will provide a very good support to build web services. Okay, any idea about this web services? Okay, so if you don't know about web services also, it's fine, because we will be now learning about web services and how to create that in Spring Boot using different annotations. So before that, we will try to understand what is web services also. Fine. So no issues, but keep in mind that using Spring Boot, web services can be created easily. Okay, and the last 2 points are very easy. First 5 points, you people already know, but last 2 points are very important, and that is what we will be learning in further 2 classes. Okay, so it helps to create different API URL. So for our application, URL is very important, right? For our application, URL is very, very important, because whichever application you take, for home page, you will have a URL. For login, you will have a URL. You can see the URL it will get changed for each and every pages. For sign up, for register, for feedback, for updating your details, for all these, you can see there are different URLs which has been created. So how to create those URLs, all those we will try to understand using Spring Boot. Okay, so these are the important advantages of Spring Boot, and now you people understood, right? What are the different advantages the Spring framework provides? Yes, so first in Spring you understood how Spring will create object for us, but now we understood the exact importance of the Spring framework. Till here it is clear. Till here it is clear. Now, now our concern is what is a web services, because we will be dealing with web services. So what is this web services, how to create, or why to create, how to create, as of now you just leave, but why is this web services created? We have any real time example for web services? All this we will try to understand now. Fine. So let me take one example. I'm just giving an example so that you will understand what is web services. Okay. So don't dig into that too much and don't get confused. Just have a proper understanding. Fine. So listen here. So let's take this one best real time example only. Okay. So have you people traveled in flight? You people have traveled. Okay, if you have not traveled also, that's fine. Not an issue, but just I just asked. So you, what are the different flights you people know? IRCTC. Okay, that is fine. That's it. Okay, let's take, we have Air India. We have Air India. Okay, we have Indigo. We have Indigo, and we have many other things. But as of now, I'll just take two examples. I'll just take these two examples. Okay. Now, um, Air India will have its own application. Indigo will have its own application. Understand the scenario properly. Okay. Air Indigo will have its own application. Indigo also will have its own application. Now we are the users. We all wanted to go to a trip. Okay. So we wanted to book a flight. We want to book a flight. So we will check, obviously we will check for the price, the timings and all, right? At what time we need to start from here and what is the end time. All this we will be checking. So where you will go and check, suppose you want to check about a flight, you will be going to Air India site, its website. So it will have its flight name and what type it is, and it will have its price, it will have a start time, and it will have its end time. Okay, similarly it will have other flight details also, correct? Related to Air India, it will have many flight details, and timing will vary, price also will vary. Okay, suppose if I'm not satisfied with all these details, then what I should do? I need to go to same website or some other website. I need to go to the other website, that is Indigo. I need to go to other website, that is Indigo. So same in Indigo also you will have flight details, its price, its start time, its end time. Again, it will have all the details. Okay, fine. Few will be satisfied with the timings and price. Few, suppose we are not satisfied, again we need to check for the other flight. We need to go to the website. So what is the disadvantage here? Can anyone tell? As a user, we are the user. What is the disadvantage here? Okay, time waste to check every site. Correct. So first thing, lots of website to visit. Correct. So if I want to visit all these websites, I need to register into all these websites. Correct. I need to register into Air India. I need to register into Indigo. Suppose if I want to search for any other flight, I need to register. Yeah, I need to create an account or register anything. So how many accounts I'll be having? Okay, as of now, I'll have three accounts. That is waste. And then each and every time I need to change the website. I need to change the website from Air India to Indigo, from Indigo to some other. This is waste of time. This is waste of time. Okay, fine. So this difficulty is faced by whom? From that company or from the user? From that company or from the user? User is facing this difficulty. User is facing this difficulty. So okay, tell me one more thing. Tell me one more thing. All flight details, price, and start time and end time, where it will be stored? Price, flight details, price, time, all where it will be stored? So you will have a database for Air India, you will have a database for Indigo. Yes, so in the databases, all the details will be stored. Correct? Correct. So you understood what is happening, what is the difficulty. Okay, so now we will come for a solution. We need to have a solution for this. So one or the other developer should obviously look into this problem, and he should create a website accordingly. Correct. So now what is happening? Um, let's take for example, Make My Trip. You people know Make My Trip, right? Yeah, Make My Trip. So Make My Trip people, they are creating their own website. They are creating their own website. Okay, if they create their own website and if they have details, does it mean that they are the owner of Air India and they are the owner of Indigo? Does it mean that they are the owner of Air India? They are the owner of, no. They are not the owner of Air India, or they are not the owner of Indigo or any of the data of that particular flight. They are not the owner. So what will happen here is this person, that is Make My Trip, this person will go and talk to Air India. He'll go and talk to Air India and he will tell, you please give me your data details of your flight, price and timings. Flight, price, start time and end time, all these details you please give it to me, so that many users will visit my app Make My Trip, so they can check your details as well. Along with that, if you search for train or bus or anything, along with that they can search for your flight also. So they don't want to separately log into your website or any other website. So it is making a deal with Air India. Make My Trip is making a deal with Air India. So Air India, okay, it will accept, and Air India is giving the data, right? It is giving the data of its own flight details. So it will take some payment for that. It will take some payment for that, and it will give the access for the database. Correct? It will give the access for the database of this particular Make My Trip application. So all these details will be displayed in this website. All these details will be displayed in this Make My Trip. Okay. Now similarly again, Make My Trip will go to Indigo. Okay, it will go to Indigo. So this application simply, this Make My Trip will not simply go to all the flight owners, and it will not ask for the data. First Make My Trip will make a survey, so it will get to know how users are using which flight. For like for example, most of them will choose Indigo or most of them will choose Air India. It will see majority who is using more flights and which company is having the more users. So only for that company it will go and it will make a deal, so that Make My Trip also will have a profit. So in the second list Indigo is there, for example. So again Make My Trip will make a dealing with Indigo, and it will take the access of this and it will get displayed. Okay, fine. Now we as a user, we wanted to go for a trip. Now if I log into this one particular website, Make My Trip, I can see all the flight details in one website itself. I can see all the flight details in one website itself. Correct? So this is easy for us. Yeah, register only one time. I can register only into Make My Trip and I can view all the details. It is easy for me. I don't need to remember all the websites, user ID, password, and all. One is more than enough. So this makes a user's life easy. Okay. So you understood what is the solution. Now here, there is a problem. Now here, there is a problem. So what is the problem here is directly if Air India and Indigo, will give the database access, Make My Trip can misuse all those data, because original data is present in one database. Okay, it is present in one database. Directly if they give the access, sometimes it depends on their mind, they can misuse also, right? They can delete some flight details, or they can change the price, they can change the time, they can do anything if you give the access. Yes, this will happen, right? This will happen. So is this a good deal between Make My Trip and Air India? Is this a good deal with Make My Trip and Air India? No, right? It is not a good deal. And if any data is lost from the original database, again for Air India, it is a loss. For Air India or for Indigo, it will be a loss. So they started thinking what to be done. They started thinking what to be done. Okay. So Now, the developers of Air India or Indigo, what they will do is they will create a they'll create a service. They'll create a service, not security. They will create service. Now, what this service will do? You can, oh yeah, service layer also you can do, but that's fine. So, what this service will do? So this service or this API, whatever the Air India or Indigo is creating, okay. So this service will be able to access the database. Look into the explanation now. This service will be directly able to access the database. Directly able to access the database. Okay, so for example, if I want to print the details of flight id 10, if I want to print the details of flight id 10 in make my trip application, so for that one particular url will be given in the service. For that particular url will be given in the service. So make my trip should make use of this service, and it should fetch the data, and it should display in the make my trip application. Directly, it cannot use the database. Directly, it cannot do any changes in the database. In services, whatever URL they have given, for example, display get data of flight 10, get data of flight 11, get data of, let it be get or insert, let's take anything. Okay, so all those URLs will be even. Whatever URL is required for make my trip, only that particular URL will be given, and that data will be sitting in this make my trip application. Similarly, Indigo also will have a service. It will have a service, and this using the service make my trip should get the data. This is safer, right, than the previous. This is safe. Yes or no? Yes. So this service, whatever I explained now, this we call it as web service. This we call it as web service. This is what called as web service, and this is more commonly used in nowadays scenario. You got many booking apps, right? Hotel booking, or you can take make my trip booking, any booking you want, any tourist bus booking, anything, book my show also correctly. All those data belongs to that particular theater, right? All those details of the movie list or everything, seat details, all these are belonging to the particular theater. So what that particular application will do, what is that application? Book my show application. It will take all the data from the different theaters and it will display in its app. So are they using service? Are they using service to make themselves safer? They are using service. So that service we call it as web service. Web service. So we need a developer to create this web service. We need a developer to create this web service. Okay. So why we require web service, you understood, right? Why we require web service, you understood it from this particular example. Yeah, you can call it as API also, because we will have many API URLs in it in the service. So you can tell it as an API also, not an issue, but this is a web service. Okay, now I have one question, I'll ask it to you people. I have one question, I'll ask it to you people. So I want you people to give me a solution. Now let's take um okay, before that, similar to make my trip, can you give me some other websites also similar to make my trip? Make my trip. Um, I'm not asking food related and all, just related to trip. You want to book something. Yeah, Yatra, correct. Yatra.com. You have Yatra.com, right? Okay, we'll take these two. Okay, fine. Now we'll take these two application. Now understand what is my question to you people. Um, So this service also should be written by the developer, right? The service layer or this web service should be written by the developer. Now this is written in Java language. Which is written in Java language? Web service is written in Java language. Make my trip is also application written in Java. Make my trip application is written in Java. And let's take this application is written in C hash. Now, my doubt is Java to Java, it can understand the code and it can understand the data which is received or which is sent. So it will work fine, correct? Okay. C hash will understand Java or Java will understand C hash? No. Then how the data can be transferred here? How the data can be transferred here? Translator. Okay. Any other intermediator? Anything else? Okay. I got a answer from most of you are answering. Correct. Correct. Okay. So good. Good guys. So here there will be a problem now. Air India, Air India has created a service in Java. It has created the service in Java, so it can give this service to any other application, right? It can give to Make My Trip also. It can give to Yatra also. It can give to any other application. Suppose if this service layer, if this web service is not supporting with yatra.com, can Air India sit and create another service using C hash? Can Air India sit and create another service using C hash? It is not possible. It is again waste of time. It is again waste of time. So here what is introduced is, let your web service be in any language and let these application be in any language. Okay, let it be in any language. The data which is transferred, the data which is transferred will always be in a format. It will always be in a format which is understandable by any programming language. The data transferred will be in a format where any programming language can understand. Where any programming language can understand. That format will be in JSON format. That format will be in JSON format. Now you people will ask, what is JSON format? I will explain. Have some patience, okay? Till here, you people understood what was the disadvantage? There was no security for data, so we need web service. When we have web service, and when we have the web service in Java language or in other applications in some other language, programming language, again there will be a problem in transferring the data. So for that, the data will be in which format? It will be in JSON format. Till here I hope you people are clear. Till here I hope you people are clear. Now, one more important thing what you people should know is, don't get confused with this terms. Don't get confused with this terms. Okay, we tell web services. We can tell it has REST service. We can tell it has REST API. All means the same. Some few will tell as web service, few will tell as REST API. Why we tell it as API? API is because we create many URLs in the services, right? So we tell it as API. We can tell it as REST service. Everything means the same. They can use any terminology to represent service layer. To represent service layer, web service means same. Okay, so you should have that clarity. You should have that clarity. Fine. So we have many annotations using we'll use in Spring Boot. We'll have many annotation we use in Spring Boot. All those I will show you whenever we are writing the program directly. Okay, that time itself I'll explain you everything in detail. Now what we should understand is now what we should understand is what is JSON and how JSON object will be created. That is what we need to understand. Okay. Yes, Nelson. They just have different names, different terminologies. That's all. Okay, so till here, I hope you people are clear. Okay, now tell me how your Java object is created. How your Java object is created. In Java, you create object, right? Internally, how it is created using new keyword Java object is created. Okay, but how? You will have some diagrammatic representation for that, no? Object will be created in which you will be having id is equal to value, name is equal to value. You will have object representation, right? So now let's take, obviously, if you want to create application, we will be having DTO layers, right? We will be having layers in which we will write class, and we'll give class name, we'll have private data members, we'll have getters and setters, constructors for any application that is mandatory. But then only table will get created. So now I'll take one example. Class, I'll take student, class student. Let's take here I have int ID, string name, double percentage. Okay. Now you know for this how object will be created and how values will be present in the um, object in Java object. Now for this, a JSON object will be created, right? If the data is transferred from web services to any other application, obviously it will be in object format, correct? Because all these are non-static. Yes or no? So JSON object should be created. So how this JSON object will look like? How it will look like? That is what I'm going to write now. So JSON object will start with a curly brace and which it will end with a curly brace. Okay. So here, what is the first data member I have? I have ID. So it will be in double quotes equal to value, comma. What is the second one? Name equal to Priya, comma. Percentage equal to whatever percentage we have. So this is your representation of JSON format. This is your representation of JSON format. Okay, so this is how your JSON object will be created. So let's take, you have an application, and if you want to fetch the details of the application from the database, you will enter your name, id, percentage, right? It will create a JSON object and it will be sent to the web service layer, and from there it goes to the database, and then the data will be fetched or it will be inserted, anything, any operation. So it will be in JSON format. This is how your JSON format will look. Okay, so what you need to understand here is JSON object will store data in key and value pair. Okay, JSON object will store data in key and value pair. So key is nothing but your ID, name, and percentage. Value is nothing but whatever value you pass to that particular key. Okay, so you will be using this JSON object. I will tell you where you will be using this JSON object. Okay, till then you just have some patience. Okay, I'll just tell you, but you should know how to represent a class, how to represent in JSON object. You people should know. So can you people take down this in your notes? I'll give you few more examples. You should write JSON object for that. So okay, you're asking for the full form. Full form is JavaScript object notation. Did you people write this example? I'll give you another class and I want you people to write JSON object. Write for this particular class. In database, the object will be stored. The object will be stored. Okay, guys. So here it is not equal to. Here it is not equal to, and it is colon. It is represented as colon. Okay, so if you miss this also, you will get error. I just mentioned equal to. Just change this, okay? So double quotes is required for key, and colon is important. Okay, fine. So this change you people just make, and for person object, you people will be able to create JSON object, right? So similarly for teacher, how to create. So ID is key. ID is key. Let's give some value. Then name, just give some value. Then we have subjects. Subjects is of which format? It is of array format, right? It is of array format. So you need to represent like this. English, Kannada. Okay, so if you have array, and if you want to mention different values or different data in a single reference variable, you can just make use of this. Now I'll give another example. These two classes are one example. Can you create a JSON object for this together? Because it is having has a relationship. JSON object will be created automatically based on the data whatever you give, no? So there will not be any loss of data. When you create an object manually, might be if you miss, then there will be, but usually we will not create the JSON object manually. Okay, can you people create object for this? Okay, how to create a JSON object for has a relationship? Now I'll just write it here. So first, I'll take ID of mobile class, comma. Then what do we have? We have name. Okay. Then what we have? We have sim. Fine. So sim is will have a data or it will have a object. It will have one data or it will have a object. This reference variable sim. It will have a object, correct? So here also we need to create a JSON object, right? Again for sim, how to create a JSON object? Again, open curly braces for sim. Open curly braces for sim. So in sim, what we have? We have ID, comma. Then what we have? We have provider. The provider itself is name. I just mentioned it unnecessarily. That's fine. Okay, you can give the name and close the object. Provider means nothing but name only. I had given this, so I just removed. So how here we this is the JSON object for has a relationship. This is the JSON object for has a relationship. So it is having mobile data and has a relationship. For sim also there is another object. So object is created within the JSON object. Correct. You people have written like this. I just checked. A few of you have written like this. Fine. Shall I scroll down and give you the some other example, or take you're taking down this? I'll give you other example, last example. Okay. We'll have int ID. We'll have string name. We will have in double quantity or int quantity. Anything is fine. As of now, don't be concerned about the data type. Then we have cost. Okay, this is the item object, and then we have class order. So here we have ID, order address, and we have list of item. Now here it is not just one object, it is a collection of many objects. So can you people write example JSON object for this? Did you people complete? Okay, few of you have already sent in objects. What about others? Okay, so let me write. So first you will start creating object for which class? For object class, right? Sorry, for order class. So if it is an array, we know that you should use this rectangular braces, and in this we will have many objects, right? In this we will have many objects. So I'll create one object as of now. So in that what we will be having ID, name, some item with paneer, then quantity, cost. This is one object I have created. So I have list of objects, so I'll make use of comma here. I'll make use of comma, and similar way you will be creating another object. So ID will be changing. Close. Is this correct? I think I have mentioned everything properly. Yes. This is the last data member of the object, right? So comma is not required here. So you people understood how to create a JSON object, correct? Okay. So now, where we will use this JSON object, why we will use this JSON object, I will tell you. Now let's take, we are going to create a web service. We are going to create a simple web service, not like make my trip or something else, okay? So I will create a web service where the web service will have the access to the database. It will have the access to the database, okay? And it can insert the data, it can update the data, it can get the data, it can perform all the CRUD operations. Since it is my own simple application, I'll create using web services. I can perform all CRUD operation. For each CRUD operation, I will be giving some URL, okay, URL or API. So for example, I'll give a slash insert, it's slash, yeah. Then you will give slash get, which will get all the data. If not, you will give a slash get. If you want to get only with the respect of name or with the respect of email, what you will be doing? So slash with respect to name. Yes, get user by ID, get user by name. Similarly, we'll give different URLs, or slash update, slash delete. Okay, so these are different APIs, or we can call this as different URLs, right? We can call this as different URLs. Now we have created these different URLs. If I want to check this different URL, how it is working, I need to create a HTML page where it will take all the user details, name, phone number, email, etc., etc. form. Similarly, if I want to get the details, from the database, and I will print it in the browser. If I want to update, I will create another HTML form where it will ask whether you want to update name, mobile phone, and whatever you want to update. You can just select that and you can update. You can delete. So if I want to check whether this URL is working fine, I can create different form, right? I can create different form? Yes or no? Yes, we understood. With the help of form, we can check whether the URL is working or not. Now you will be having more than 10-20 URLs like this based on your application. Can you sit and create the form just to test? You need to create a sample form. It is easy or difficult? Just for testing purpose. You're not going to create a designed web application and designed web page and all. Just for testing purpose, you need to create many forms like this. As of now, it is 3 form you can create. If it is 10 form, 20 form, 30 forms based on the requirement, just you need to keep on creating. It is time waste. Might be you people know HTML, so it is easy for you. Okay, but it is time waste. It is a time waste. So what we will do for testing purpose, to test these URLs, to test this URL, we will be using Postman. So you have separate team called testers. You will have separate team called testers. So before they test, we will be doing one testing. So which tool you people will be using for testing? That is Postman. So in your interview, they will ask question. So after creating different APIs, the question will be like this: after creating different APIs, will you test them? If you test, which tool you have used for testing them? You can simply tell we have used Postman. You can use JUnit also. So JUnit also is used for testing purpose only. So about that, I don't want to discuss as of now. Our concern is about Postman. Okay. So we will be using Postman to test the application. So we all know that object will be transferred in which format, guys? Object will be transferred in which format? It will be transferred in JSON format. So I don't want to create any form HTML file or any form. Using Postman, I can send the object. So using Postman, in which form I should send the object? Using Postman, in which format I should send the object? I need to first check the URL. Okay, for this particular URL, in which format I should send the object? Using JSON format only, I should send the object. That is the reason we should know how to write JSON object, because we are going to test the web service, or we are going to test the URL is working fine or no. URL will accept the JSON format. It will return you in the form of JSON format. So you should know how to write JSON format, right? That is the reason we understood. So for testing purpose, which tool we are using? For testing purpose, which tool we are using? We are using Postman. Yes, we are using Postman. And yes, so these are the important things which you should know so that we can start with our Spring Boot. So you know what is web service, you know what is JSON object, you know how to write a JSON object. Now you understood which tool we will be using, that is Postman tool. How to work with Postman tool, we will understand. It is easy. You just need to create the JSON object, that's all, nothing else. And you need to give the URL. For insert URL, you need to give the JSON object. For get URL, you need to give the JSON object, and we'll be using many annotations also. So all these are basic things which you need to understand. I hope you people are clear with all this introduction part of Spring Boot. Okay, fine. So you people need to have Postman, right, in your system. Do you people have? Guys, can you people tell why we are using Postman? To test the web services, correct? After explaining all this, one of your friend is asking why we should use Postman. What do you want me to tell? Hmm? Is my screen visible? If you have downloaded Postman in your laptop or in your system, you will have Postman. If not, you will not have. As if you are learning some astrology or how to get to know whether we have downloaded Postman or not. What questions you are future developers? Oh my god. Oof. Okay, so Postman download. You have this first option, right? www.postman.com. So you can just download it directly from your browser. So your Postman first page will look like this. So you have the Postman app. Download the app to get started with the Postman API platform. So I'll just click on this. Yeah, you can see, Postman is getting downloaded here. Okay, just download the Postman, guys. You people should have Postman because from tomorrow, or not tomorrow, from Monday itself, we will start execution. Once your Postman is downloaded, no, you don't need to sign in. You can directly go into the application just to download. I'll just share you the URL. You can go to the same URL. www.postman.com/downloads. Slash downloads. I shared, right? Can you please download it? Here you'll have the option to download. Once everyone are done, then please let me know. So installation is simple only, but it will ask you to sign in, but don't need to sign in, okay? Downloading started. Once it is downloaded, everyone please wait, I'll tell you. So simple, but still. If you have already downloaded, then that's fine. Those who don't have Postman, please download. Did you people complete it? Completed it? Okay. So you will have this postman. Just run right click on this option. Okay, I will wait for another 2 minutes. Complete your downloading process. You don't have any extra steps. If you run it as administrator, you will get this installing postman. Directly you will get this installing postman. Where is that option? Yeah. You will get this. Download, right click, run as administrator, you will get this. Right click on the postman and run as administrator. From that time I'm shouting, now only you have completed downloading, it seems. So installing process will take place. After that, it will ask you people to sign in. So please don't sign in yourself. After this, it will ask for sign in. If it is asking for sign in, don't sign in to the postman. In my system, it is taking time. Did you people get it? Don't create account. Don't create account. Don't sign in the page. That is what I am telling. Don't sign in the page. Just skip that. If anyone have created account, I'll tell you to uninstall now. Installed, you are getting this page. You will get some page like this. Don't create account and don't sign in with it. Skip and go to, you don't sign in, you can skip that. You got this page, you are seeing something like this. So since I already used this Postman, so I'm getting all the URLs here. You can see I have URL, delete URL, I'll have get URL. You can see get name is equal to post URL. You can see student details. So like this, different URLs we'll also be creating. Okay. So I just showed you. So Postman is created, right? Guys, everyone completed. Shall I move? Today itself, I'll just do basic things, whatever should be explained. Okay, everyone have completed. Good. Good. So I told it there is a easy way. There is a easy way to create project, right? I just told there is easy way to create project. So how to create a project? So Spring itself will provide us something called as Spring Initializer. Okay, it will provide something called as a Spring Initializer. Everyone got this page? Okay. So here we need a Maven project, right? We need Maven project. So we will select Maven here. We will select Maven. Language is Java. Language is Java. Let Spring Boot version be the same as of now. You know what is group ID? You know what is artifact ID? I don't have to explain. Yes, in Maven you used to create group ID, artifact ID, correct? So we will be creating, now we need jar file and which Java version you will be using. So you can go with Java 8, which we will commonly use. Okay. Now here we have a place to add dependency. Can you see here? Here you have a place to add dependency. Here we will be adding the dependencies. So when I go to add, so usually you will be having adding Spring Boot Dev Tools and Spring Web. Build web including RESTful. Apache Tomcat has a default embedded container. So I'll add this Spring Web. Along with this, if you want, you can add a Spring Boot Dev Tool, which will automatically restart your what is that, your server. We don't need to restart it. So that is the purpose of Spring Boot Dev Tool. So Spring Web we need to add because we are working with Spring Boot and it will help us to build the web services, and you will have Apache Tomcat default embedded in the container. So these are the main dependencies. As of now we will add, later we will add different dependencies. Okay. So after this, you can click on, you need to give group ID, you need to give artifact ID, then you can click on generate. You click on generate, the project will get downloaded in the zip format. Project will get downloaded in the zip format. You need to extract it, add it into your Eclipse. How to do that we will see. We need to unzip and we need to add the folder to the Eclipse. How to add we will see in the further class. But Spring Initializer, it is provided by your Spring so that you can add the dependencies easily and you can generate the project. Automatically project will be generated. Okay, that is the reason we will make use of Spring Initializer. Here we are not learning Spring MVC. Did I tell we are learning Spring MVC here? Then why such questions you are asking? Which is not required for the topic. After all, you will ask. Oh my god. So this you people understood, right? This is what you require. This is what the basic understanding you require to be a backend developer. So backend developers will use all these properties: Postman, JSON object, Spring Initializer, dependencies, and all will be used. So as of now, don't generate any project. I will show you in the next class. We'll generate a project. We'll give a proper. I'll take one example. I'll give a proper group ID. I'll give a proper artifact ID, and we will create a new project. Okay. Along with this, if you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you will be full stack developer. If you know only Java, Advanced Java, J2EE, framework, Spring Boot, Spring Security, microservices, then you are a backend developer. Along with all these technologies, if you know HTML front end languages, then you are a full stack developer. If you know only front end languages, then you are a front end developer. That's all. Now clear, Nitin? So this is all basic introduction about Spring Boot, guys. From Monday, we will directly start with the project. And there itself, I will introduce annotations also. Is that clear to everyone? Yes. Okay. So once I complete project using Spring Boot, one or two classes I will take for Spring MVC. Then in advanced Java classes will be completed. So by 15th, your advanced Java classes will be completed. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Your advanced Java classes will be completed. So after that, you'll have mock date will be sent to you people in group. Don't worry about that. Yeah, only 3 days is required. Only annotations you should know. You know already how to write the code and all. I don't need to explain how to write the code. Only annotation I should tell you people. That's all. In Spring Boot, you don't have much. Only annotations. Okay, so as I told you in the introduction class, as I told you in the first day introduction class, your advanced Java concepts, whatever you require for advanced Java concepts, that is JDBC, Hibernate, Servlet, Spring Boot, and Spring MVC. So all these concepts I have covered. Okay, I'll be covering another 3 days. I'll be covering an entire thing will be completed. So after that, you can give the mock and done with the class. Yes, guys. I hope this plan is clear for you people. So please start preparing for your mock also simultaneously. From Monday itself, we'll be creating a project. So that will be more than enough. All clear? So I have given my best and I have explained. Um, so I hope you people will use or utilize all these informations in a proper way, and let's hope for the best. Okay. Fine, guys. Today we are done with the project. Today you people are done with the class. You can leave for the day. We'll again meet on Monday. Okay. Yeah. Bye, guys. Take care. Good night. Move in. After advanced Java, what we need to learn and it how much time it will take, please. Okay, so after this, has a fresher or has the part of the your Java full stack. These are the courses which will be provided. I have completed all those. Yeah, you can leave the class, guys. Thank you, guys.